It's 2024 and I've spent over 2 years making a movement shooter called Grapple Combat. I'm going to share my plans for this year, and I'm also going to share a super secret feature that will change the game. If you're new here, this is Grapple Combat, a game where there's lots of movement options and all of the combat is in midair. Enough said, let's get started. Bit of a problem. I need to remake the character because the player model is very unoriginal. I used a tutorial because I didn't know how to make 3D models yet, but I'm not sure how I want to remake it yet. So if you have any ideas, make sure to comment them down below. Yeah, and if I'm going to remake the player model, that means I have to remake all the animations because the rig won't work on it. I didn't really want to do this at first, but I think it's a good thing because the animations look a bit unique. So I think we'll finally get a chance to improve them. Since I have improved at game development over the years, some of the old gun models look a little bit outdated. I'm going to remake all the gun models, and I'm going to improve the general shape and color, as well as adding more movable parts for animations. This will tie into a future feature I'm going to review, which will be pretty cool. With these new movable parts I'm going to add, I can finally make some satisfying reload animations instead of just having the gun duck down. This is one of the main reasons I added the previous features. So yeah, this will just have the player feel more satisfied whenever he reloads. Oh yeah, also the sword looks very static. The animation is literally just rotating it slightly and then flipping it back. This does not look very professional, so I need to remake all the animations for the sword. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but after more planning, I'm sure it'll look more professional. Okay, so we need to add some of that jumping and landing feedback. You know, if you're watching someone play the game, it's hard to tell when they're jumping because there's very little feedback from it. So I'm planning on adding a sound effect and particle effect for both of these actions. Hopefully this will make the game look a lot better. I said before about the guns looking a bit static. Well, I need to work on them a bit more because they're very bland and the bullets look terrible. There's hardly any animation. Maybe this could tie in with a future feature. Alright, so the tracers are currently a line render with a blank yellow material. This looks very basic and there's many ways we can improve this. For example, we can make the bullet model slightly larger, make a new glowing material for the tracer, and make a golden material for the bullet itself. Overall, this definitely looks a lot better. Oh yeah, the muzzle flash is pretty much just a bunch of small squares, which doesn't look very good. It also has hardly any lighting, so we're going to improve it by using a mix of a yellow glow material and a dark gray material. We'll also change the shape to be more of a low poly sphere. We can also increase the speed of this to make it look way less static. This already feels a lot better and the guns have a lot more juice to them, which is pretty cool. Now there's two extremely obvious features missing from the guns currently. One of them is weapon sway. Now if you're not a game developer, you may have never noticed this. This is how many AAA games make guns feel fluid and makes looking around feel less static. This works extremely well with this other feature, weapon bobbing. It's when the gun moves up and down slightly while moving. While this might sound bad, as long as it's not overdone, it can be a very good feature and works great in combination with the weapon sway. Now what is a completely useless and purely cosmetic feature that most shooters have? That's right, it's inspect animations. Completely useless, and you probably didn't even know that most games had them until you accidentally hit the F key. But I'm going to add them especially since it would go well with one of the features I'll reveal it near the end of the video. Also, as I mentioned before, I need to change certain things that are very static, and one of those things is the hit markers. I literally just drew an X shape in pixel art and thought I was done, but looking back, it was very dumb and it looks terrible. So let's fix that. Let's do that later. Also, there's another huge problem currently. Right now, the bullet holes are not showing on the client side, which is a very slight problem. We can fix this by sending the bullet's hit position to the client and spawning the bullet hole and particle effect there. This will hopefully make the game a lot better because it'll actually work on the client side and not be completely broken. So yeah, currently some of the gun sounds are a bit scuffed. They have barely any impact and a few of them share the same sounds. I plan on maybe purchasing an asset pack for the sounds because I can't create my own because I suck at that. As I said in my previous devlog, I'm going to start remaking all the UI from using a consistent color palette, streamlining the experience, and even adding polish. There's so much I can do to make all this UI better, especially considering it used to look like this. So yeah, I need to do some more work on the settings menu too, especially for the future features I'm working on now. I need to have a customizable experience available to all the players. Right now I only have the necessities like sensitivity, but this year I plan to add rebinding and graphic settings. Comment what other settings you want to see because I'm really not sure. We also have one major problem. There's no death screen, absolutely no information on where you could have gotten shot from. It literally just spawns a spectator camera, which is not very helpful. I plan to have a screen showing damage received and damage given, along with more info like the weapon used and more about the player who killed you. Also, there's no way to compare KD, which is kind of a problem. So we're going to solve this by working on a scoreboard. And by pressing tab, you can view all players' stats, like in pretty much every other game. How did I forget to add this? I'm not sure, but it'll be in the game soon. So That's not even it either. I also forgot to add a chat window, which most FPS games have. Now, I originally thought since I had proximity chat, I wouldn't have to do this, but I changed my mind since I could add commands and allow comms for people who don't have a mic. So yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty useful. And yeah, then there's a kill feed, so you can see in real time who's killing who and what weapons they have. This is just a general feature for most FPS games, but you could use it to see what weapons other people have, and you could target them to take their weapons. I also need to remake all of the HUD because I haven't updated it in over a year, and the inventory bar is just 2 stretched squares, which does not look very good at all. I do not know how I will do this, but if any graphic designers are watching, please comment because I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so on to the maps. Currently there's 12 maps in the game, and the plan is to have 25 to 35 maps by the game's launch. I'll even add more over time with constant updates. There's actually some concept art for the next map. As you can see, I'm combining the Sky Islands with one main island, which I think will end up looking pretty cool because of the architecture. It makes the map look unique. Comment your ideas below. I'll probably add them because I have to make 20 maps and I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah. Also, there's a future feature that's going to tie into this, but we'll discuss all that later. I'm going to release the game on Steam for a variety of reasons, one of which is Steam networking. The reason I'm using this is because you don't have to port forward, and if the game flops, the servers don't get shut down because it's running off the player's computer. The one compromise is that the host can get away with cheating, but if that happens, you can just join another lobby and everything will be cool. Another one of the features I can use is Steam Inventory. I'm going to allow players to sell their cosmetics on the marketplace. This will allow for the game to have its own economy with different skins having different values. So since the game is coming up to release, one of the most important things for releasing a game on Steam is, well, the Steam page, because, well, it's not on Steam if it doesn't have a Steam page. Now to do this, we have to make a lot of art. So if anyone has any tips, comment them below. I also need to make a trailer because I read that Steam recommends your game more if you have a trailer. Luckily with this channel, I've become a lot better at editing, possibly. So hopefully it won't turn out that bad. Also, there's another secret Steam feature that I'm going to include, but I'll talk about that later. I just mentioned that I want players to be able to sell the cosmetics, and to do that I kind of need cosmetics. So I need some ideas for cosmetics, so please comment some ideas for cosmetics. Thank you. Oh yeah, and since I said I'm going to remake the player model, I'm going to have to remodel all of the old cosmetics, which will be fun, but hopefully I can improve them during the process. I'm going to reveal the first secret feature. That's right, there was multiple I was teasing. Right now, you can only customize your clothing and character color, but what if there was even more options? What if you could customize your guns? I'm planning on adding weapon skins. I know, very original, but I think it would be cool if I made it so you could get these from special events because they'd be more sought after on the Steam marketplace, which would be pretty cool. I also kind of want to add more funny meme cosmetics. Right now I have like a skibidi toilet and a censored sign, but if you have any funny ideas, there's a comment section for a reason. Yeah, you know it now, we're in that part of the video. I'm going to reveal all of the rest of the secret features to you, so make sure not to tell anyone. Keep this between me and you, or I will hurt you. I mentioned earlier that one of the Steam features would tie into this, and I'm working on a map creator. Yeah, that's right. Why work on maps when you can make the maps for me? But yeah, I'm going to implement this with Steam Workshop so you can download others' maps. Maybe if a map is good enough, I can strike a deal with the designer and put it into the actual game. But wait, there's even more. Okay, so after the game comes out, I mentioned that there will be updates, but a lot of these updates will include new weapons. That's right, it won't always be the same 8 weapons. I plan on having community votes for new weapons to add every once in a while. Hopefully this will make the community actually feel appreciated because, you know, I appreciate the community. I've saved the best for last. This is one of the biggest features ever, and I'm going to reveal it. I probably shouldn't even talk about it because it's going to be a post-launch thing, and it's huge. But I'm planning on making Grapple Combat VR Edition. That's right, you can get constant motion sickness in a very shitty low poly game. Now that's all I'm ready to reveal at the moment, but if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and if you like this video, YouTube thinks you'll like this video. Alright, see ya.